First thing you do, if you have a set of these things, take these out, throw them in the trash. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Vermont Scale Customs. It has been a long time since I've done a little how-to video or a little any mod video or anything like that. So this one is for the MJX and specifically for the BFGoodrich All-Terrain TA tires that I just got for this thing. And the reason is I used the foams out of the tires that come with them, because the foams that come with the BFGoodrich ones are absolutely miserable. They're super firm. You get no compression whatsoever. It's like running out in Moab with about 40-45 pounds of pressure in your tires trying to make it up some stuff. These tires are incredibly soft, but you'd never know it because of these. So anyway, what I did was tried cutting some vertical slices in these, which definitely helped. It allowed them to compress a little bit. As you can see, it sort of lets things kind of break down in the sidewall a little bit more. Helped a little bit yesterday. I had some runtime with it, but it just wasn't enough. So I came home last night, pulled the foams out of these, threw them in there, and so this is basically what it looks like with just those foams. And I figured it was, after running it a little bit this morning, it isn't exactly what I was looking for. So what I did was tried to, well, I didn't try to, I took some material like this. This stuff is out of a display case, like little flat, like jeweler's display cases or whatever that you'd find like a flea market or whatever, but really lightweight stuff. It's not Scotch-Brite, but it's got a really airy feel. So what I did was I added a layer of this inside of the tire in conjunction with the foams that come out of the stock tires. And I've come up with what I feel to be like pretty much like optimal, about 8 pounds worth of you know, pressure for crawling, kind of the equivalent to, versus about 3 to 4 pounds with a flat tire that you got here. So I was going to do this mod on camera just so you guys can see, and that way you guys may feel inspired to go and do the same thing. First thing you do, if you have a set of these things, take these out, throw them in the trash. All right, so I went with the Toyota 1.7s. Of course, everybody out there is like, it's a Jeep, fool. I know, and yes, I'd love to have some 5-lug. Let me put this in a much easier position to work. And yes, I'd love to have some 5-lug, but cost-wise, these kind of seem to be where I was at, and plus it was like a combo. So probably stripped right off of the Toyota 4Runner or whatever comes stock with these on it, and that's fine. The price was right, it seems, especially compared to what they used to be just a matter of 6 months ago. So anyway, I've got my drill here, and I've also got set up with this is the 2.5. Yes. And so let's buzz these out real fast. All right, the hub's free. Get those last ones out of there. Peel that thing open, pop out the back, take out the ring. All right, so this is where you grab your foam and just kind of spread the sides of the tire, open a little bit there, and start to kind of lay that inside. I took and ran this in the creek yesterday, and so the tires were really, you know, obviously pretty muddy and sanded up and stuff, and the foams were pretty janky inside. So I took everything out, washed it, washed the tires and all that stuff, as one does. And yeah, that's kind of when I realized, you know, well, not realized, I realized by watching the video that I obviously wanted considerably more compression than what I was getting. So that looks like it's really well seated in there, as you can see. We'll throw the old ring back in. Okay. And we'll go for the back side of the hub. Now these definitely feel like they pop right in to a point. Got to make sure not to push past that, because you'll definitely pinch the bead in a spot that you don't want it to be pinched. But the front side of these is kind of a pain. As always, with any stamped steel bead lock, it seems to just, it wants a tiny little bit of expansion all the way around for that bead to really catch as soon as it seats in there properly. And you know it when it's right. It just kind of seats and grabs the way it's supposed to, kind of suction cups down in there a little bit. You don't want to pull too much or else it'll pinch the bead again on that side. So what I like to do is take that 2.5 out of the drill. You're probably not going to use it that much at this point. Get that set up in a screw right? You can even put a screw in here if you want. And you can kind of press that together and sort of feel the screw poking through on the backside. I grab my hub and try to look where that's going to line up a little bit and see if I can't push through and just grab that. You can start to feel a couple of threads grab, so you'd know you've attached already, okay? So, like I said, you want to keep an eye on how the bead looks on the front here. You don't want to unseat this at all. So what I like to do, instead of cranking one side down all the way on one here, I do a triangle pattern. And then after I'm done with my triangle pattern, I jump over here and I start the other triangle pattern. So just a couple turns on each one just to get them started. And you probably could use the drill on this stage if you wanted to. I have, just with the added foam in there, I want to be careful to make sure that I don't unseat anything and that it doesn't look, you know, funky as the face of the rim sits down. So, oh, it's under here. By the way, this is my tripod. Yep, going low budget, no microphone, room volume, hot take one edit kind of stuff right here. Not using tools, well, excuse me, using tools but just no motors. How crazy is this, huh? So you can crank down a little bit, that way you can start to get the little purchase with you. Each one here. Looks like the tire is sitting down nice and even all the way. So you can go ahead and kind of finish these off if you want. Make sure you get your good last lockdown. And there you have it. That's pretty much the couple-minute job. And now you've got considerably more rebound. You don't get full compression. You get a lot more sidewall stability. It's going to act like about 8 pounds of pressure in there, somewhere between probably 8 to 10 pounds. So anyway, let's get this pop back on here. A little finger tight, grab your T-wrench, snug that a bit. And you are done. There you go. So that's that. Now, if you look at the compression on these, I've got a wood block around here someplace. There it is. You can see that over hard objects, you're still going to maintain some shape. Show you on the front side here too. So it's even going to have, you know, some rebound on hard objects. Now, if you're pulling to the side or anything like that, even at this stage, you still got some good compression, good sidewall hold, everything else. So that's the mod, folks. Thanks much for watching. We're coming up on about 10 minutes here or so. Oh, I mean, I guess while I have this, let's round it out at 10. Quick review. If you haven't gotten one of these yet, go ahead and grab one. It's an awesome rig for the money. I run, this is, I guess, just a note on the brushless thing. Turn your dual rate down to about, I don't know, a quarter of the way up. And this thing really just kind of shifts right down into like first, second gear for crawling. It seems to do incredibly well at nice low speed. My other issue is if they would have made these a little bit more realistically sized, I wouldn't have had any problem with it. But that's about the corniest detail. Everything else looks awesome. I put the windshield in. This was material from one of those, I don't even know, body kits for the Enjoyer build that I just did. What else? I was going to build a back for it to kind of cover up some of the details. A couple of other things. Get one. Go out and run it. Thanks for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe if you are into this sort of content. And leave a comment if you're interested. And we'll talk to you soon. See you later. Bye.